Alright, what's going on, guys? So I believe that I have found the most efficient farm in all of Hollow Knight Silksong. I'm sure you can tell by the area that I'm located in what farm we're going to be talking about, but I've seen a lot of different guides and videos talking about ways to do this farm. I've seen multiple different crests used, tools, and other abilities, and I think that I have found the most optimal by far, as well as the fastest way to farm those rosaries. This farm will net you about 10,000 rosaries within 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast you are as a player. Personally, I can get 10,000 rosaries in about 10 to 15 minutes. So what we're going to be doing here, the rest of the bench, is we're going to want some key items. Number one, if you have it available to you, I would recommend the Hive Steel Needle. This is going to be the third upgrade to the needle that you can get. The final one, unless you go into a secret act that I will not mention here to avoid spoilers, I would recommend getting this. You can do this with other needles, but having the Hive Steel Needle is going to make this a lot easier. So we'll come over here, and here are the main key focuses of this farming build. We're going to want to use the Wanderer's Crest. Now the reason we want the Wanderer's Crest is because of its insanely fast attack speed. We want to hit as many times as possible. The Wanderer's Crest does also have an ability where you have an increased chance to land critical hits. If that happens, nice, good for you. It might not. It's not really what we're relying on here. We want the Wanderer's Crest because of its increased attack speed. Next up, we are going to want the Flint Slate tool. We want the Flint Slate because it greatly increases our damage and adds a fire debuff to the enemies. Next up, we are going to want the Silk Speed Anklets. These are very important. They greatly increase your sprinting speed at the cost of a very minute amount of silk. You won't even notice the silk missing. And these are going to make it a lot better for this farm, more efficient, because we want to get from point A to point B, finish the farm, and run back to the bench as quickly as possible. Next up, we are going to want the Thief's Mark. Now, the reason we want the Thief's Mark, it's going to greatly increase the amount of rosaries that we get. Using the Thief's Mark, we can get about 160, 170 rosaries every time we do this farm. The one drawback of the Thief's Mark, if you take damage, you can lose rosaries. However, we will not be taking damage during this farm, so that downside is negated. Now, the two best things that we're going to be using, these are absolute requirements, are going to be the weighted belt. What the weighted belt does is whenever you hit an enemy, sometimes it can knock you back. You almost like recoil from your own strike. This will prevent that from happening. This is really important because the way we're going to be doing this farm is running in with the Wanderer's Crest, doing our sprint attack. It's going to hit once, launch us into the air, then a second attack will strike back at the enemy. Sometimes you're too far back for that next attack to hit, and it ruins the pacing of the farm. The weighted belt fixes that. Now, on the other side of that same token, what's going to pair great with the weighted belt to make sure that all of our attacks land is going to be the Long Claw. This is going to increase the range of your needle attacks. When you combine the Long Claw with the weighted belt, it is going to make sure that all of our attacks hit. So I'll demonstrate the farm here. We'll start at the bench. We'll go ahead and get up into this hallway, run in, Flint Slate, and we'll begin. Next enemy. Sometimes they do that annoying attack where they jump in the air. They will not do that every time. And now he's dead as well. Pick up the rosaries. Easy 160 rosaries, and we will run back. Now that attack where they jump into the air, that just cannot be totally avoided. Sometimes they do it. Most of the time, in my experience, they don't. So I'll run this one more time to demonstrate. We'll run up here. Flint Slate. Dead. Next. Dead. Now we'll go on to the third guy. Flint Slate again. And they're dead. Now, the only thing that you could possibly substitute into this build is, if you wanted to, instead of using the Thief's Mark, what you could actually use is the Magnetite Brooch. Now, basically, if you get rid of the Thief's Mark and use the Magnetite Brooch, what this will do is pull in all rosaries towards you. Some people think that makes the farm faster, because then you don't have to pick up the rosaries anyway. In my opinion, it is not worth it, because you're going to have to run across all this ground again anyway to get back to the bench. You're going to pick up all the rosaries that are dropped as you run back. It is much more viable to use the Thief's Mark to make sure you're picking up as many rosaries as possible. Doing this farm is extremely efficient, and you will get thousands of rosaries in almost no time at all. If you're having issues maintaining your flint slate due to its cost of flint shards, all you have to do is take the Bellway systems all the way to Bellheart, and the merchant there to the left of the bench in Bellheart sells infinite flint shard bundles for the price of 50 rosaries. There you go, and that is the farm. I believe this is the fastest and most efficient way to farm up rosaries currently in the game, and I've not seen anyone else talking about this. If you like this, feel free to leave a like, subscribe. If you want to see more content like this, I will consider it, but I hope that helps you guys out. See ya.